Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the number one source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hey, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Saturday Night Dialogues. It is July the 26th, 2025, and we have an absolute jam-packed call tonight. It's going to be very, very detailed. Let's get into it. Let's get into it with some prayer so we can get rocking and rolling. Father God, we always thank you. Thank you. We submit ourselves to you. I submit myself to you. I humble myself before you, and to know and understand that without you, there is no me, there is no us. There's not even this opportunity that you've bestowed upon all of us. We are grateful. We are thankful. We are appreciative. And we are so grateful not only to be able to take care of ourselves, but those that we will be able to reach far and wide and change the many lives that we desire to do. We ask that you allow each and every person to truly see the light for themselves so that they can use the discernment that you have given all of us to be able to seek the truth in this opportunity and not to be distracted by many of the noise and the clouds that are out there that so many people are used to hearing, and they are left behind. We ask that you give them that discernment and give them that spark that allows them to take the steps to be able to change the trajectory on this journey for themselves and their generations to come. In your precious name, we pray. Amen. Excuse me. All right, real quick, folks. Quick announcements. The Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room. New hours, same hours, new days. Monday through Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. When we first started the room, we were open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, for almost a year, from 10 a.m. to 4. Actually, I think we started out 9 to 4, then we went to 10. So then we decided that we would scale back to taking Fridays off and Monday through Thursday. Folks, you got to realize, like we've told you, we will not always be here. When the RV happens, we're gone. We have to begin to pull back. Some people that are taking this very serious, they have been able to establish the relationships. They understand what's happening with the RV. They're totally and completely set. And some of you, you haven't put yourself in that situation. It's best that you begin to do so. And so we are beginning to wean you guys off and push back because it is necessary. And also, above all, our own lives, health, well-being, and we have to prepare ourselves for the next chapter in this transition. So we all should begin to do so. And by us taking another day off or away from the room, maybe someone else will begin to move. And so, folks, just so that you know, the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues Room is the first and only group that has shared the facts on the RV and how to establish relationships with the actual bankers that will exchange your currency. We have Goldilocks that is able to share daily the facts in writing from the actual sources, Wiley and myself are able to share the process of what you need to do in order to establish the relationships with the actual bankers. The tribe in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room, for those that have taken the steps and for those that have followed what we have shared with them, they're set. So, we're very fortunate and blessed to have Wiley and his experience that he has in the international banking world that he still operates in to this day. My international banking experience when I was in that world, I'm grateful, but I truly, and I say this, and I've said it before, there would be no freedom fighter without Wiley. And so I watched him in the old room. I followed him, saw what he did, and we're fortunate to have him, and I'm grateful for him and Goldilocks. Folks, now, then also we have D's room, where D drops articles periodically regarding the global financial happenings around the world. And so that room she has there. And then we have the Dave Rose Big Dogs room, which is the crypto finance room. Anything related to crypto, that's where you go to get the answers to your questions. And then we have, of course, Goldilocks Global Banking News, your daily podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Turn your notifications on, folks. You're going to continuously get the updates from us, from Goldilocks, as we bring to you every day until the RV happens, and then that's gone. All right. Goldilocks Global Banking News reaches over 70 countries around the world. Actually, it's almost 80 countries around the world, and 1.6 million views in just 1 year. So it's growing. The word is getting out. People from all over the world are able to take what Goldilocks shares, the knowledge and information that Wiley, myself, and the tribe shares, and they're able to get prepared for this blessing. Tonight, we have two amazing members that are going to share their updates. You guys are hearing every single day. Just imagine when we first started this room and members were taking the steps and what we're sharing with them to establish these relationships. the gurus had a nerve to tell people that we were paying our members for these stories. See, they told you what they were doing with those one or two bank stories they would have their people tell every 6 months, whereas our people daily, different people, we would have to have a big budget for all these people, for all these bank stories. Lord have mercy. But no, based on what Goldilocks is sharing, based on Wiley's international banking experience that he still is active in, based on my international banking experience when I was an international banker, based on all of this, we're able to bring to you how to prepare yourselves. And then we have the members in the Goldilocks QFS Dialogues room that just follow the steps, the 8 steps, and they have the success. It's that simple. It's not easy, but it's that simple. All right, folks, we have Nova Knickers in North Texas that are going to share their updates tonight, and then to the topics that we're going to bring to you with facts, the proof and evidence, how the RV is in motion, how the U.S. Congress, what they're doing, what they have done as it relates to the RV, their view. And then also Vietnam, we're going to show you how they're taking steps to prepare for the RV, and Iraq taking steps to prepare for the RV. And we're going to show you the proof, the evidence in black and white. All right. So and then of course, we have the awesome and amazing Peculiar Ram. And folks, when you hear North Texas tonight, this young man is actually he's done tremendous moving quickly, but Peculiar Ram has done an amazing job in mentoring him and showing him the way, and we're so proud. But first, we're going to have Nova Knickers, our lovely, funny, Farmer is going to come to share her latest updates. Some of you have already heard from her before. And it's the beautiful thing about folks, many of the members that you hear from, you hear their stories in different phases. Some are at the beginning. Some are in the middle. Some are completely done and set. Multiple wealth managers and bankers all set up, attorneys, trust accounts, brokerage accounts, money where the funds, accounts where their funds will go into, their exchange currency will go into. Many of our members have done that, but they started somewhere. And we like to see on their journey, see where they are and the progression, because it also inspires someone else. And it teaches someone else who also may be at that same phase as that member, or there's something that they may pick up from hearing a member's story, no matter what part of the journey they're on, and they're able to duplicate it. All right, beautiful folks, let's get to our awesome Nova Knickers, who shared an update not too long ago. How you doing, our funny farmer?
No, I'm doing great.
Awesome. If I can't fail to mention that we have North Texas and his wonderful mentor, Peculiar Ram. Folks, Nova Knickers has two lovely, amazing, they're the Golden Girls. So it's Nova Knickers, Sally I Am, and String Bean, Garlic String Bean. We're just so proud of you, Nova. I know that you've shared your updates from before, but since then, you've gotten some more updates. Please share, young lady.
Yes. So yesterday, me and my hubs had a meeting with the private wealth manager, and he had shared with us at our previous meeting the contract to hire him. And I didn't understand a lot of it, and it's just a bunch of legal jargon. And so Wiley said, then have him explain it. So I contacted him and asked him that I'd really like him to go over this with us. And I told him that it's the foundation of many things that we're going to have to sign in the future. And I'd want a better understanding if he would just go through it line for line with us. And he said, sure. So that's what we did yesterday. And it was a fantastic meeting. I never, ever thought that a place like that, totally out of character and atmosphere for me, that I felt so comfortable. And my hubs did too. And it's almost like a long lost family member. So we talked for 2 hours. We went an hour over when they usually close.
Okay.
And it wasn't rushed or anything. He was eager to sit there and just converse with us. And for the first 45 minutes, it was nothing but coffee table talk and about our families and just making a relationship. And then he said, well, do you want me to just start reading it? And I'm like, sure, I'll stop you if I have any questions. And, I really didn't have any questions, but I did stop him here and there, and asked him, well, what does this word mean? And how does that work? And he explained it. And towards the end, he said he thanked us for asking us to go over that because he needed the refresher on the contract too. And then I said, well, do we sign it now or do we need to wait till the funds are in? And he said, well, we could sign it now, but there really isn't no need until the funds are here. And I said, okay, I'm okay with that. And he leaned forward and he's kind of said under his breath that, to contact him, I had to go through, the call center, and it went to New York City. And that guy put us in contact with this guy, local. And he said, all that guy said was, I got this couple and I don't know what's up with them. I don't know if they won the lottery or what, but here you go. Here's their information. And they can't talk about where their funds are coming from. That's all I know. And so he kind of said under his breath, gosh, I am dying to know about your funds, but I can't ask you. That wouldn't be right because you can't talk about it. And I told him, man, I am dying to tell you too, but I can't. I told him, I said, I will tell you, it is an investment and it will be taxable. And boy, he
Mhm.
sat back in his chair and you could just see the wheels turning in his head. And he was like, oh, all right, well, if it gets closer to December, we're going to have a hard time litigating some taxes, but there's some things that we can do. And he just is itching to work for us. And I loved it. So it was good.
And the beautiful thing for those listening is what Nova Knickers and her husband did. The number one thing is she established the relationship. So, and I loved how you were talking in the beginning. It was coffee table talk,
Yeah.
as he told you about his personal life and things of that nature. So your foundation is set with that relationship, and so when the time comes, that you don't have to be concerned about a report. You don't have to be concerned about anything. He will be totally prepared and ready to manage and grow your wealth because you already established a relationship. And he didn't, like you said. I love what you said. He wasn't pushy. He was like, okay, when
Yeah.
the funds come, you can sign the contract in.
Yep.
I love that. And Wiley's gave you the excellent. I remember he gave you that. Wiley, oh, he's here. Wiley gave you that excellent advice. Wiley, you want to chime in here to ask the attorney to go over the terminology and what you didn't understand. Wiley, are you able to? Oh yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
Freedom, I'm here. Hey, Nova. So when you went over that, how did that feel? Do you have a greater understanding of what the verbiage is and what the contract really entailed now that you went through it with him, and have a better understanding and more of a peace and calm about what it's truly doing for you in that relationship?
Yeah, and a lot of it is on their side. A lot of the contract, what they can and can't do, and what they're going to be held liable for, and what they won't be, and it is mostly protection for them. And and if we decide he's not right for us and we don't want him to manage our money, he immediately disconnects from our account, and he can't even see what money we're spending or anything after that. And it's like it's done instantly, and it's the fees are prorated. So we would if it happened at the beginning of the quarter, we would get paid back the remainder. And I totally trust this place and this guy, and I'm just so ready to move on.
And not so much fear and hesitation of the legalese and all that was in there, and now you have a greater depth of what's going on. But I'm glad you
Right.
said something very important there. Most of it is on their end, and the legalities of what they can and cannot do.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Very important for people to understand. That's why you need an entity that can do these kinds of things for you, not
Mhm.
these so-called places everybody's talking about on the Dinar community sites. You need a regulated institution that deals with finances to be able to do this type of work for you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I told him that whenever it does get here, that I'm going to be scared to even spend the first dime because I don't want to make a mistake, and so that I would be leaning on his expertise a lot on any purchases or anything that we
Mhm.
make. So,
Well, don't be fearful of money. But what you want to be cognizant of is to never spend capital. Capital's hard to acquire. Once you
yeah,
have capital, you put it to work so you never chase it again.
that's what I told him. And he was like, he like I said, he is itching to work for us. And we've intrigued him because there's a little bit of mystery to it. So,
Mhm.
I'm sure he's got a couple inklings after what he said. And then he
Oh
started
yeah.
talking about taxable things. And he's right. As we get towards the new tax laws and stuff, and some things changing, and Trump's new big beautiful bills changed quite a few things in that, and they're writing the new tax codes for those. And I think I don't remember, Freedom, it was several months ago, we talked about the taxes on currency exchanges that were
Mhm.
just put into place. They
Right.
become effective in January.
In January.
Um, yeah, so
Mhm.
there's a lot going on in that world. Don't trouble yourself with that. That's more them saying that we'll have to
well, he
work
had
with
sent
that, but
me
we
a
got people around it.
He sent me a link the day before for the webinar that they have twice a year. And I listened to it, and they talked a lot about the tariffs and the big, beautiful bill and how they projected those things will change investments, and
Mm-hmm.
about how they showed a lot of graphs that and discussed how similar things in the past affected the economy. And it was pretty interesting. And I told him that I listened to it, and he was a little bit embarrassed because he didn't listen to it yet.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
here's a little
funny.
fun fact for you. 19,000 millionaires are made every month. 40% of all millionaires reside within the United States.
Mm.
Wow.
And that comes from people getting a plan together under wealth management that can help these people grow their wealth. What's truly propelling people into their wealth and bringing people into that millionaire level is real estate and investments. The
Mhm.
two things that will make you a millionaire faster than anything else out there. I know people are going to say AI and all this other stuff. Nope, nope. Real estate and investments, the two.
Mhm.
But yeah, he mentioned some stuff like that. And then we also talked about some cryptocurrency, and we talked about some silver because I asked him about it because I have those things and I could talk on those. So, and he said, "Well, I don't recommend the cryptocurrency, but I have some too." And I thought, "Oh, well, that's pretty
Uh,
cool." And he told me about some of his clients do have silver, and it was just awesome. I,
Yeah, and that's
and then,
just great diversification, and your portfolio should have some of that in it, as well as the cryptos. It should have that in it to be have a well built, diversified portfolio. But these are the
Mhm.
individuals. You've built a relationship. You're nurturing it. You're going to continue to grow it as you move down this road with this person, and that they're going to help you diversify this. They're going to help get you the tax people you need to plan taxes because taxes are the biggest thing that will suck your wealth faster than anything is taxes. That's why you
yeah.
need these tax engineers, CPAs, and those kind of people that understand that environment. I mean, it's like a sport to those guys. They know the ins and out. I mean, my guy's so black and white, he's kind of hard to talk to some days because he's all like, "Well, let's talk about what it's here." I was like, "Well, I'm trying to plan for it now because I'm trying to move things." So you always want to be talking to these people, and you always want to have them included in your plan so that they can be looking at this stuff strategically for you and
hmm
allocate things in the right manner to save you as much as possible because that's their job.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I can tell it's going to be easy to talk to this guy about stuff like that.
And that's what you want. You want just a natural conversation. Like you said, it was 45 minutes of coffee table talk. It's great to lay that groundwork and get a feel for the person. A lot of times people get into these wealth managements with people and it's just stiff, it's stale, and they walk out of there and have no clue what the conversation just entailed.
hmm At the
So
beginning
freedom,
of our,
freedom. You know I'm right about that freedom. You've
Oh
experienced that. I
yeah,
know you've seen it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're absolutely clueless. It's like they walk away and just wondering whether, like, a lady might be wondering if her bra was showing, or the guy might be thinking, was his pants down? What was wrong in the conversation?
Yeah.
No,
Now, what did I just hear again? What did he say?
it
I'll
was
just sign the
awkward.
paperwork and let them have it and just throw it over to
Yeah.
them, not
Right.
understanding truly what they heard. So I'm very
Mm-hmm.
glad you took your husband. You both are deeply engaged in this. He's engaged
Mm-hmm.
with you. And all I can say is congratulations. Keep growing,
Yeah.
keep nurturing, keep doing follow ups. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to touch base with them at
as
least
we,
once a month, at
yeah,
minimum, once a month.
as we were leaving, he said, so what now? And I was like, well, I guess we wait. He said, but you're going
Mm-hmm.
to ask me more questions, right? And I said, oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and don't be
He wants
afraid
to.
just to fire off a question. Thank him for the time or whatever. Your next email said, "Hey, a couple questions came up. Um, you brought up maybe this or this. Could we talk about that a bit more in detail? Because I got a couple questions on that." And just fire them over to him, and he'll get back to you on them. And you just keep growing naturally that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right. And I appreciate all you and all the help that you've given me and everybody else in the room.
Absolutely.
We just want to see you all succeed, and we know we would love to go do this and just say, hey, I got all these people coming in and I'm going to bring them all to you and they all need wealth management. That's just not how it works because
Mhm.
everybody needs their own thing and not
Right.
everybody's in one area. So it's hard to like
Mhm.
shove everybody into one size fits all shoe. You
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
can't
because
do that. Go
we're
ahead.
all different. We all have different goals and we all have different
Mhm.
dreams, and and it takes different people to line up with those things. Not everybody's going to have the same thing.
Well, I can assure you, some of the wealth people I talk to probably would not be most of this room's cup of tea because they're just very aggressive. The conversations can be aggressive, the tone can be aggressive. These guys move. And what we're teaching you the basics. So
Hmm.
I want you to know that and continue to grow into your own as you start learning this. Everything should just be a stepping stone to the next one and the next. Not saying the next wealth manager. I'm just saying the next step to the next step to the next step as you grow in your understanding of how money works and how real wealth can last forever with the right tools around you and the people to help guide.
Hmm. I'm excited. I
Beautiful.
can see where it's going, and I'm just excited.
I want you to remember
Beautiful.
this, Nova, okay? It's easy to be rich. It's tough to be wealthy. Wealthy
Hmm.
takes discipline and it takes people to assist because there isn't no one person that knows all of this that can do all of these different things.
Mhm.
It takes a team, and that team is what you're building. So congratulations, you're off
Yeah,
to a
absolutely.
fantastic start.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Funny Farmer.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Keep up the good work and just keep following up like Wiley said, and keep doing what you're doing. The best is yet to come. That's a great relationship you've been able to build. Are you going to be interviewing other wealth managers as well?
No,
Or this
I'm
is
where
it?
I'm going to be.
Okay, excellent.
Was
Congratulations.
this a private wealth management firm or a bank?
Private.
Perfect.
It's a
You're set.
private
Excellent.
wealth manager.
You're set.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, if this is a private wealth manager, they have the teams already in place internally that have all the
Mhm.
hats that you're going to need there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
and
Beautiful.
he's told me that all of his clients are the ultra wealthy, and so like I'm like, I hope I'm in the right place. So yeah, we'll see.
Beautiful. Congratulations, young lady. Congratulations. And thank you also for your energy, your love, and support in the room, helping others. I know you have a busy schedule with your farm and life and everything, but you always make time to come into
Yeah,
the room, and we appreciate you so much.
and I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed, beloved. All right, all right. And folks that are listening, you're on YouTube, you can click the link at the top of the description. You can join beautiful folks like Nova Knickers and others. We will share the 8 steps and show you the way as well. And folks listening, you know, um, try not to compare your journey with Nova Knickers or anyone else that you hear. Everyone has a different story, has a different outcome. Well, the outcome ultimately leads to the success and the happiness and the contentment that you hear that Nova Knickers has. But on that journey, along the way, it's going to be different for each and every individual. So just understand and know that as well. Next, we have lined up North Texas Dez, who comes highly recommended, and his mentor, the beautiful Peculiar Ram, has introduced him to this opportunity, and he jumped out the gate and just moving. What's up, man?
Hey, man, what's going on?
How you doing?
I can't complain, man. No complaints over here.
Good, good. I'm not going to hold it against you that you're a Cowboy fan. So,
All
but
right.
so now you've had how long have you been in the room? Like about 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think the day after 4th of July, maybe something like that.
Right. And you jumped out and you've already had your first wealth manager meeting.
Oh yeah.
Now, please share with us about this. Just going to share. You shared it in the room, but I want to come from your own words. Go ahead, young man.
All right. You know, uh, once I set a vision on something, I'm kind of, especially like now in my little later years of my life, because I kind of be in. Uh, I study quantum economics, not economics but mechanics. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I'm real big of seeing a vision and feeling the vision
Mm-hmm.
and going after it. And
Mm-hmm.
I know I listen to y'all, almost like I listen to something every day, either if it's a
Mm-hmm.
YouTube or
Mm-hmm.
something, just to get the knowledge on it. And I kept telling the Peculiar, I was like, I be feeling like I'm behind, like I'm like that. I be hearing you say it's the end games. I be like, golly, like I gotta hurry up and do something. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's just that vision that I had, and man, when I meditate and I visualize what I want
Mm-hmm.
that my wealth manager to be like, and everything. I just kept going through these little, on the internet. I'm going through different names and stuff like that, and I come into this. I don't know, someone was just calling me just to click on it, so I clicked on it and sent my info, and
Mm-hmm.
the young man hit me back, and he's not an older gentleman, so I think he's
Mm-hmm.
later in his late 30s or whatever. But
Okay.
uh, from first conversation, man, it just seemed like he was a homeboy. You know what I mean? Just didn't really, like, he wasn't really talking to me more as in like, you know what I'm saying, like broker and
Business.
bank talk, business
Uh-huh.
talk. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he just being real, what I'm saying, family oriented, a friend, man. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. I told him, I was like, I like your vibe, So
Mm-hmm.
why he called me, and I told him that, I gave him some little questions or whatever that Wale provided. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm,
Mm-hmm.
make me kind of sound like I know what I'm talking about. But
Right.
at this time, like, I'm really fresh. Like, I'm not even like a week and a half in. I'm waiting on my ID card to come in, because I can't do
Oh,
no
that's
other
right.
stuff.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
I can't even
Yeah.
make a
You
account or do
a
any of this
bank
stuff. You
account.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I go in, I do it. He sends me an email back telling me that he enjoyed our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The excitement that I had, he could tell that just by the energy alone that I'm not
Mm.
playing about what I want and what I'm trying to do with my life. You know what I'm
Your
saying? So
goals.
my goals, yes sir. So
Mm-hmm.
um, he wanted to do a Zoom meeting, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, we can set one up. So we finally did one, and I think this was maybe Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
Friday we had talked or whatever, and yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was Thursday, and man, it was so educational, and
Mm.
uh, you know, like he told me up front, he was like, I really don't care where your money coming from. And he was like, my goal is to get your money whenever it comes, is to build your money, and we'll just go from everything from there. And I was like, oh man, it just, everything just felt so comfortable. And then he
Mm-hmm.
also told me, he was like, I was like, well, I'm also interviewing other wealth managers, and he was like, oh yeah, that's what I want you to do. He's like, go out and visit all of them, like it's a dating game or something. He was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
go get your options out. You know what I'm saying? He said, because I
Mm-hmm.
tell everybody this, it's not a one size fit all type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I go out and I do it, and I call about two or three wealth managers, and I talk to y'all about one of them on the chat, and
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
everybody just was everybody was so like uptight, like about where your money coming from. Do you know how much you get? You know what I mean? And I was just like, look, I'm not disposed to tell you this type of stuff. I just don't feel
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with it. They was like, well, you can come back to us when we get your money. And I just always remember what you always say, just like, they're just not for you then.
That's
If it
right.
ain't feeling right, they're just not for you.
That's right.
So uh, I end up talking to my wealth advisor, which is a private one. He's telling me about it as
Okay.
a fiduciary and different things, and
Mm-hmm.
his whole firm is, and how he came from Merrill Lynch and different stuff. So it was
Mm-hmm.
it was it was very educational to talk to
Mm-hmm.
him. And when it comes to my steps, man, like,
Mm-hmm.
Chad, don't do like I did, because I was just blessed in the situation to happen. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
ain't go from 1 to 8. I was probably like 1, 5, 3, 7,
Because you
2.
because you couldn't open a bank account at first because you didn't have your ID card.
Exactly, and I couldn't do it. So I got my wealth manager that I liked first, and then I got my ID in the mail, and I finally opened my bank
Your
account,
bank
and
account.
I had to look online and read to see if they take foreign currency, and they do. You know, so it's just was all it was everywhere, man. But it's a blessing how, because one thing about God is what's for you is for you. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right. That's right.
just take it as that, and yeah, man, I'm just
Right.
blessed.
See what's so great in what you did. You jumped out instead of ready, aim, fire. You just ready, fire. You just
Fire.
jump. You fire, right? Fire. And it's beautiful because I remember when I was in corporate and we used to do training, and we used to say F up fast, meaning screw up fast, as quickly as one can. Just screw up. We can come back and clean it up and get it right. But
Right.
see, and what you did was you didn't screw up at all. You just jumped out there because you were under the impression, like you said, you were hearing the podcast. You heard the end game. You're like, the end game. Oh, let me hurry up and get in the beginning. let me get in here. No ID, nothing. Can't get a bank account. Nothing. And so, but like you said, but God was able to bless you with an amazing relationship that you were able to establish with this wealth manager, where when he even said to you, he doesn't even care where the money is coming from. That goes to show you that is a person that is looking out for your interest first and foremost. It's about you.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. What's something that that is a takeaway from this meeting that you've learned that you can now take to the next meeting with him or someone else?
Just a better insight on it's just the banking lingo. You know what I'm saying? When you see certain things, I know exactly what he's talking about now, so I can go in and like our meeting for Thursday. He wants me to set out my goals and everything, so he can better write everything out and present it back to me. In a way that is beneficial for me and help me in the way I can see things and all that stuff. So
so you have another meeting coming this Thursday.
Yeah, I have another meeting coming this Thursday.
And he wants you to write out your goal. It sound like he's really sort of taking you under his wing and wants to mentor you and walk you through this process of this relationship. That's what it sounds like to me. That's
because like I told him, I said, man, this is like it's all new to me. I even started buying currency like the day I heard about it, and she told me that day I brought some currency. And so as I stack up and do everything, I just been learning along the way and going on, and he can just tell that I'm a babe at it. You know what I'm saying?
You're
so
green.
I can kind of, I'm green. I'm real green. So he can just tell. So he provides it and he breaks everything down. Once he tells me something, he breaks it down. He's good like you, man. He's good at making things complicated simple. You know what I'm saying? So or sound complicated, make it sound simple. So he does that for me.
Beautiful. Let's get Wiley. Wiley, you want to jump in here, my good man?
Yeah. Hey, North Texas, don't worry about those Cowboys. They'll be back.
All right.
Yeah. You don't shoot a horse just because he lost a shoe.
That's right. That's right. Nail it back on and keep going. That's right.
But good for you. I mean, well, starting at number 8 and working to number 1 is not quite what we ask people to do, but you turn it into a win for yourself. And it sounds like you have the ability to kind of do that from some of your background, it sounds like. So way to turn it into a win and kind of work around your situation. But you understand by when you were in there is why you can't buffalo these people into like trying to speak their language when you don't know it. They will see through it instantaneously. You have to come at these folks very genuine, and you've done that. And we've had folks simply be dismissed because they tried talking a bigger game than what their shoes really knew.
Right.
So, but yeah, just keep going back. Sounds like he wants to coach you up, work with you, get you set. So go in there with your plans, or you're going there with a semblance of what your plan is. Because I'll tell you, even though you think you know what your plan is, he's going to put it into action how it needs to look.
Yes, sir. And that's what he was telling me he wants to do for Thursday. And Just want to say on the questions, man, I appreciate you because I'm shooting them emails like we haven't even like had our first Zoom meeting yet, but I'm every other day I'm shooting them a couple of questions like I just really been studying all this stuff like for a long time now, like he always answers back and always genuine about his answers and ask me about what I take out of that question that I asked and things like that. So I could just tell the relationship is going to be really good.
Yeah, keep working it. Keep working it. Yeah, it sounds like you're great. You're in a great spot. I love that he's a private wealth manager because he's going to have real depth and a team to place around you to help you grow. And also, you also said he was with Merrill Lynch, and I want to reiterate that a little bit, that these people travel around this stuff, and people need to understand these people all talk to one another still. Just
That's
because
right.
they're not at another company doesn't mean they're not talking to folks over at that other company. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
this is, you can also shoot yourself in the foot a little bit that way too when some folks just start doing all this wealth manager jumping, trying to do this. You really
Mm-hmm.
have to focus in on what we're doing, what we're teaching, and
Right.
really take those steps to heart because you don't want to shop around too much. But
Right.
you do want to date around and go feel yourself out. He even told you, hey, yeah, go date around. Go. If I'm not your guy, find the guy that gels with you. And that's so key. Kind of like Nova Knickers said, it's like, oh, no, this is it. This is it for us. We managed. I know it, and that's key. That is so key in this because you're going to have to talk to these people a lot. In the first years you start doing this, you're going to have a lot of touch points. As you become more seasoned, you'll probably have an annual one and maybe a 3 month, 6 month, 9 month, and then again end of the year, and then there'll be less and less and just phone calls and different things. So as you get more seasoned, it'll be less. But continue to grow. Just continue to grow. And good for you. Hit the room. Boom. Look where you are.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I couldn't done this without y'all, and especially Peculiar Ram. She's been there for every agonizing question that I probably ever asked about it. And
Yes.
Well,
probably
Frida, let's
know.
let's
Let's
bring
let's
her
let's
in.
get let's get
Let's
let's
get her.
get yeah, I was just gonna say let's get Peculiar Ram to jump on in here. Peculiar Ram, are you able to
Hello.
there you go, there you go. What you think about this
Hi.
young man? I mean, you already know this
Yeah,
young man.
this is
You've
my
worked with
bro.
him.
I
Yeah.
I'm so proud of him. Des, tell them I tell you all the time, I'm so proud of you. I'm
Yeah,
so proud of you for doing your own due diligence. And yes, you do ask me questions, but I appreciate the fact that you come into the room and that you do your own studying and then you come to me with what you've found out or what you've, gained in knowledge and ask me, hey, is this good? Is this bad? Am I doing it? I'm like, yeah, you good. So I
Mhm.
appreciate you not just sitting there.
Yeah.
You took this investment and you ran with it. And like you said, you did not want to be left behind, and we can tell. And so congratulations because you've been in the room for 2 weeks, maybe three,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you wasn't you determined in your mind that you wasn't gonna just sit on the fence. You wasn't just gonna buy invest in something and just sit on it. You wanted to know what it was, everything that you can know about it, and I'm
Mhm.
proud of you because there's some people I'm sure who have been in this group for weeks and months and still have not taken that first step out of
Mhm.
being stricken with fear or anxiety. And
Mhm.
so even with you not knowing exactly what you're doing, you know where you're headed. And that's why you have the success that you have been having. So I'm really proud of you. It's only been like 2 weeks. So I'm proud of you.
Yes.
I
Yes.
really appreciate it, and y'all, she was hard on me at first because we really just Facebook friends, so so
Yeah.
but she's always been more like a what I'm saying family on her, so we have a
Uh-huh.
lot of mutual friends on her, and
Mutuals.
I
Yeah.
kept asking her one day, because I'm always talking about different crypto and different things like that, and
Mhm.
she'll give
Mhm.
me her little take on it, but when she told me, she was like, hey, I'm doing this such and such, and I was like, put me in. What I gotta do? Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? And she gatekeeped for like 4 or 5 days until she just broke in and was like,
You
I just had to
really,
make sure you're serious. I can see that you
Yes.
steady about
Yes.
want to learn it, so I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm very grateful.
yeah.
I mean, you can probably ask her. I've like almost every time we talk, I just tell her thank you, and I'm grateful for it. I promise I am.
That's beautiful. That's a blessing.
Yeah. You're
That's a
welcome.
blessing. That's a blessing. Yeah, and you couldn't have had a better mentor than Peculiar Ram. She is set with her relationships. And she's been where you want to be. And so yeah, man. So it's a blessing that the two of you connected, and she was able to bring you on, and you took this, like you said, just fire. You just jumped right in. Didn't have a ID for a bank account. You just like what I need to do.
Freedom ain't had nothing but the willpower to do it. And that just goes to show it does not take much, you guys.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
man.
right.
When you start something, you got to finish it. You know what I'm saying? So that's
What I really
my
hope
motto.
you guys understand, though, is you're going to learn more inside those meetings with your independent wealth managers. The big takeaway is now your social circles, you can talk to one another. Hey, what are you finding out? Well, my guy's telling me this, and this. Oh, I'd love to hear something about that. But, you're building your social circle. I don't know if you realize it. This is how it works. And you're going to be able to bounce ideas. Hey, my guy's saying this. My guy's saying this. I'm going to ask my guy about that. That's how you're going to hear new ideas, new things, new investments that's out there that you can go back to your guy and say, hey, I'd like to know more about this. You guys into that? And they'd be like, well, matter of fact, we are. Let's talk about that. And that's just another way to grow, is when you tap into those social circles and those people that are kind of doing similar things as you. It's very key to have people in your corner like that, because a lot of people, I'm going to be just very blunt, will not be in your sphere when this is over.
Oh yeah.
Not that they did anything wrong or whatever.
Right.
It's just you're not going to have anything in common.
Right.
Right. That is this deep.
Yeah.
Not that you're better. I'm not saying you're better than anybody. I'm not saying that. I said don't say, Wiley's over on those calls saying we're better than them. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, when this happens and your growth happens and theirs doesn't, there's no commonalities anymore.
Right.
And you won't be able to talk about certain things any longer.
Yeah.
And real
I'm
friends,
already kind of already feeling like that, really. Because I tell Peculiar, like I had made a post on Facebook, and I was just like, just the social circle that I'm affiliated with now, I can't even talk to nobody about it. Nobody even understands it. Like, it's just me and y'all.
anybody worth their salt.
Like, new tribe.
And anybody worth their salt will never ask you where your money's coming from. If they ask you that, it's none of their business, and it's not the kind of people you need in your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wealth recognizes wealth. It doesn't need an introduction, and it doesn't need explanations.
Hey, I like that.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Man, we're proud of you.
Yes.
We're proud of you, North Texas, man. You've done tremendous in such a short period of time, and it will only get better from here. This relationship that you've been able to establish with this wealth manager, it's already solid. I already see this is going to go very far for you, and I know you're going to interview others and date others, even like he told you to, and that's what you want to do. Maybe have a couple to diversify. But you got the best mentor there in Peculiar Ram and the tribe here for you. We will not allow you to fail. You can't fail. We got your back all the way.
Hey, thank you, man. I just want to tell the chat, if y'all haven't got a wealth manager or anything yet, just really harness these convictions in that people are coming in and talking about with their wealth managers, because Ty was the first person I got to hear, and it was so inspiring.
Ty Too Pretty. You remind me of Ty Too Pretty.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. It was so inspiring, man, and I was like, gosh, I'm ready. I can't wait to tell mine. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to get me a wealth manager. I wouldn't even take it as I know. It's like I live with the I am. You know what I'm saying? Because God said He's I am. So
I am. That's right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get it.
That's right, man. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations, young man. And all this, and what did it cost you?
$0, my man. Just a little time and effort and energy.
Right, that's it. And also, I want to commend you on your studying. You studied, you research, you're in the room. You're in Wiley's Wisdom and Notes. And you're in Goldilocks' room. You're reading, or I know you are, because you're able to take that information with you and speak intelligently. If you have to when you're meeting with this wealth manager. So congratulations, man. It's going to get better from here.
Hey, thank you, Freedom.
Yes indeed. All right, folks, we are going to get to these amazing, powerful articles. Let me say this now. I'm thinking about Nova Knickers, North Texas, and the rest of the members, folks, that you've heard. And I think of an old saying. There's a fine line between drinking wine and stomping grapes. There's a fine line between drinking wine and stomping grapes. There are so many people that you all are hearing from, like Nova Knickers, North Texas, and other members who follow Goldilocks, who have taken the steps that Wiley, myself, and the tribe are sharing every single day, and the experience that we have. And they are able to establish these relationships, like you've heard North Texas and Nova Knickers and others, every single day. People that are going to restaurants, really drinking wine, luncheons, all kinds. And folks, these are people that you are hearing from. They are drinking wine, like fine wine. But those of you that are following the others, I'll just say the gurus that really are part of us, you're really stomping grapes. You're not even tasting real wine. You're just stomping grapes. And you have a choice. And, we share what we share with love. Sometimes we have to give you tough love. But you need to make a decision whether you are going to be the one who's drinking wine, or you're just going to keep stomping grapes. You keep stomping grapes, yeah. You pound a grape here and there, and you might get a little bit of juice to get up on your chin or on your clothes, but you don't taste it. It don't taste the same. Mm-hmm. When you have a wealth manager, Peculiar Ram, like you do and others, when you have those relationships, I shouldn't be talking about wine with you, Peculiar Ram. I know about you and your wine. Your half a glass. Your half a glass.
That's better house.
That gas station wine.
Oh my God.
But if you're on that weekly roller coaster of it's happening, oh, this is a delay, oh, this happened and this is a delay, oh, Trump said we're going to push it, but all this stuff, these excuses, folks, you're just stomping grapes. And it's time for you to start dining on some real fine wine with Peculiar Ram and Brunette Grand and
my good kid.
Go ahead, Wiley.
I want to put that in a real context for people, okay?
Please
between drinking and stomping.
Okay, go ahead. Please do.
Everybody's going to get a chance to exchange. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are in this, where you are, listen to us, don't listen to us, whatever, what you're going to listen to. You're going to get an opportunity to exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to be is in a position where you have people working for you, leveraging their knowledge for you. That's the power of a private wealth management, or an entity that can take the capital and plug it into things that you just don't have concepts of yet because you've never experienced or known they were there.
Right.
That's the difference in what you just said, Freedom.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
You're not getting the fullness thereof when you're stomping.
Mm-hmm.
Versus having the wine. You're not being fulfilled.
Right. And it's She-Hulk's fault. That picture, I don't know why I saw that picture with the wine glass with the new hours.
Yeah.
That's what we did. All right, beautiful folks. We are going to get into these articles, and they're going to be very detailed. It's going to show you folks that are listening to this. We're going to show you with the actual proof of how the RV is transpiring, the plan of the RV, and how it's actually rolling out. We're going to show you. Let's get right into it. You ready, Peculiar Ram?
I'm ready.
All right. This first one, I'm telling you, folks, you got to understand the blessing it is to have Goldilocks that shares months, weeks, years in advance of how the RV is developing, how it was supposed to develop, how it was supposed to come into reality, and we're seeing it. in black and white. We're going to go right to the foundation and the root of it all. The article from last year, April of 2024, months before Trump was even reelected. If you can jump right into this one, if you can, please.
Yep. Currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some members of a potential second Trump administration, mainly because of the viewpoint that an overvalued dollar contributes to the trade deficit, said one former Trump administration official, adding that Lighthizer and his team are the primary advocates for the approach. But weakening the dollar could have other far-reaching consequences, from sending consumer prices for imported products soaring to inviting retaliation from other countries and threatening the dollar's role as a world reserve currency, which would undermine U.S. sanctions on adversaries like Iran and Russia.
Folks, this article showing the Trump administration, the currency revaluation is likely to be a priority of the second Trump administration due to an overvalued dollar contributes to the trade deficit. What we're going to show you next by Goldilocks and what is happening right now actually confirms, solidifies, stamps the approval on Trump's agenda of a currency revaluation, and it's done through trade. We're about to show you in writing. Let's go. Let's jump right into it. This next article that Peculiar Ram is going to read, Goldilocks shared just the other day, and with context, and it's directly from the U.S. Congress with the author that wrote this is a researcher for international trade for the United States Congress. So Peculiar Ram is going to read some text. Then we're going to click the link to the uscongress.gov and share some information from the uscongress.gov about currency exchanges and currency exchange rates from the Congress. And it's all related to trade. So let's jump right into it. It just so happens also that they're referencing Vietnam, but what she's about to read, and when we get to the link, is actually speaking of the whole entire global banking system in all countries related to currency valuation and exchange rates for all countries and all currencies. Go ahead, young lady.
Vietnam's willingness to level the playing field in trade with the U.S. is what is allowing them to be upgraded to an emerging market. Many emerging market economies have adopted floating or managed floating exchange rate regimes. While they allow market forces to play a significant role, they also frequently intervene to manage the currency's value.
So now, folks, just understand what she just read is that Vietnam's willingness to level the playing field. This is the reforms that just passed, changing their constitution, opening their market so that private companies and countries can come into Vietnam. All the things that they needed to do in order to be recognized as a market economy in the very, 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 very near future. They're doing everything necessary in order to be able to do so. And what Goldilocks is mentioning is whereby countries that will begin, like when they are recognized as a market economy, their currencies will float, and the country themselves can no longer manipulate and control the rates on their currencies because that will be determined by the market. Now we're going to click on this link from the uscongress.gov, and Peculiar Ram is going to read some. Pay attention. This confirms exactly the first. Currency revaluation is likely to be a priority of the second Trump administration through trade deficits. Now let's see what the Congress has talked about. Okay, let's get right into it, young lady.
Do you want me to read the background first? Like what we discussed in the inbox, or do you want me just to read right here?
Yeah,
right
if
here?
you can read right from at various points. But also, folks, with this the very top, it's this title, Exchange Rates and Currency Manipulation from the U.S. Congress.gov. Not a blog site, not some high contact sources, so-called. None of this garbage. This is from the U.S. Congress. Exchange Rates and Currency Manipulation. This was from January this year, written by Rebecca Nelson, who is an international trade representative and writer for the researcher for the U.S. Congress. So at various points, you start from there, beloved.
At various points. Okay, I'm sorry because I'm confused for a second.
That's okay. The
All
very,
right,
very
because
first.
in the inbox, you had me starting reading at background, underneath
Okay.
background. Is that
Okay.
where you want?
You're going to read. I'm gonna drop the link right into the room. You click on that link. We're going to go right to the first sentence.
Oh, no,
First
the very
paragraph.
first sentence. Okay.
Yes.
At various points over the past 2 decades, some members of Congress have expressed concerns that other countries are engaging in currency manipulation.
Mhm.
That is, purposefully using exchange rate policies to gain an unfair trade advantage.
Exchange
There
rate
are
policies. So they're manipulating their currencies, meaning they're devaluing their currencies. Because Ram, do you remember, as we've been sharing from Goldilocks for the last several months about these trade deficits and the tariffs, and how countries like Vietnam and others have been manipulating their currency because it's to their advantage to devalue the Vietnamese dong. A country is to their advantage to devalue their currency because they get better deals on their exports and the trade. This is
absolutely.
right from the Congress. Go ahead, young lady. Continue.
There are broad debates among economists and policymakers about currency manipulation, including how it should be defined, its prevalence, and its implications for the U.S. economy. Amidst these debates, the U.S. government has developed and applied policy tools to address currency manipulation. This product provides an overview of the various policy tools and highlights specific issues that Congress might consider in evaluating debates about the exchange rate policies of other countries.
So, folks, this was written in January by the international trade researcher for the U.S. Congress, talking about what Peculiar Ram is about to share with you is things that the Congress thought about implementing in order to address currency manipulation. Really, it's for currency devaluation. And it tells you this product provides an overview of the various policy tools and highlights specific issues that Congress might consider in evaluating debates about the exchange rate policies of other countries. So this is talking about exchange rates and, of course, currencies relative to trade. Now let's go to background, young lady.
An exchange rate is the price of one currency in terms of another currency. Exchange rates are among the most important prices in the global economy.
Mm-hmm.
They affect international trade and financial flows and the value of every overseas investment.
Hold it. So, Peculiar Red, it says, this is from the Congress, folks. This is the background on exchange rates. Exchange rates are among the most important prices in the global economy. They affect what?
They affect international trade and the financial flows and the value of overseas investments.
Folks, exchange rates affect international trade. This is talking about the tariffs. And we're going to see here shortly where it mentions the tariffs in here. Go ahead, young lady.
It's just funny at this point. I mean, it tickles me because I can see it.
Express yourself. You can see what I want to go there.
I
Take
can
that.
see the puzzle pieces coming together, the terms that keep coming up over and over and over again, whether if it's in the articles that we read or mainstream on the news. Like the same terms are coming up, and it comes back to the article from last year.
Yep, and
it's
also
just
for
so
you,
funny.
Yeah, and also for you and others, these are conversations that are now coming up with wealth managers.
Absolutely. I had a Zoom meeting with my wealth manager yesterday, and we were talking about this because this is something that's been coming up in their firm. And so he presented had a presentation for me that we went over talking about devaluation, and the word valuations came up, and tariffs and sovereignty and countries going back. It's a lot that we've been discussing. It was just very, very funny to see it happen in my personal conversation and then reading it.
Okay. So I think we need to have you on next Saturday if you're going to read articles. We got to hear more. We got to hear more. But
Looking at you.
that's to be continued. You got to go
Okay.
and finish reading this article, girl.
Okay. Governments have different exchange rate policies, and these policies may change over time. Some governments, including the United States, allow the value of their currency to fluctuate depending on the supply and demand of their currency relative to other currencies. The supply and demand of currencies, in turn, depend on a range of factors, such as economic growth, interest rates, inflation, domestic priorities, and geopolitical events.
1 second, beloved. And folks, just keep in mind, and if in the next few articles that Peculiar Ram's going to read, you're gonna hear and see that Vietnam and Iraq are doing just this related to their currencies. We're going to show it to you. Go ahead, young lady. Other governments
actively intervene in foreign exchange markets by buying and selling currencies in order to influence the value of their currency. For example, to sustain the currency at a fixed value or to keep the currency from deviating too far from a target value.
This is very important. See, this is what Goldilocks is telling us, folks. Other governments actively intervene in foreign exchange markets by buying and selling currencies in order to influence the value of their currency. What it's saying is that what countries do is they intervene with their exchange rate, with their currency, to keep the exchange rate low. So that on the back end in trade, they're able to sell more of their products around the world. It's more profit. This is how Vietnam and other countries have been able to establish such large trade surpluses and profit with the United States. It's because they just continue to devalue the Vietnamese dong while being one of the largest exporters of their products to the U.S. and other parts of the world. Okay, young lady.
Currency manipulation.
That
one. Okay. Currency manipulation refers to government policies that interfere with market forces and intentionally push down the value of a country's currency in order to boost exports.
Repeat
what
that.
You just said.
What I just said. Read that one more again, please.
Currency manipulation refers to government policies that interfere with market forces and intentionally push down the value of a country's currency in order to boost exports.
That's exactly what Vietnam and other countries have been doing. Go ahead.
The resulting weak or depreciated currency makes a country's exports less expensive to foreign buyers than they would be otherwise. All else equal, currency manipulation by other countries may make U.S. exports less competitive in global markets.
Folks, now you see why Trump has issued these tariffs on all these countries. Now we go back to the first, from April of last year, the first article that Peculiar Ram read. Currency revaluation is likely a priority of the second Trump administration to trade deficits. And this exchange rates are from trade. Just think about all of the stories you've heard of how exchange rates can happen, how the RV is going to happen. And this is in black and white telling you exactly how it happens. Okay, young lady. Now,
policy tools.
Policy tools. Thank you. You good.
The United States has sought to address currency manipulation through a variety of international institutions and forums, U.S. laws and regulations, and trade policy tools. U.S. policymakers have used these approaches to varying degrees and in varying contexts.
Okay, this is a matter of opinion, and context, folks. When it states that the U.S. laws and regulations, the U.S. has sought to address currency manipulation. Really, if they really wanted to, they would have addressed it. But somebody was benefiting very heavily to allow these countries to continue manipulating the values and devaluing their currencies. Again, folks, this was written in January. This is written in January, but with the context of what has happened before January. Lo and behold, President Trump returns back, and he actually implements what's necessary in order to address currency manipulation, currency devaluation, and how he was going to address it. We know it's through tariffs and through trade. But let's continue here. Next, what Peculiar Ram is going to read to you is regarding the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. And then the next article is going to be about Iraq and the International Monetary Fund. Just hold tight. We'll get there. But right here, go ahead, young lady. International Institutions and Forums.
Okay. Oh, the International Monetary Fund. After World War II, the United States, in conjunction with European allies, led the creation of the IMF to promote international monetary stability. Upon joining the IMF, member countries pledge, among other commitments, to refrain from manipulating their exchange rates to gain an unfair trade advantage.
So the countries, folks, remember, folks, the International Monetary Fund is the creme de la creme. It's the king of all kings next to the U.S. Treasury Department. But the International Monetary Fund, folks, is heavily involved with the currency revaluation. The global RV, the International Monetary Fund, with Article 4 and all their consultations they've completed in Iraq, in Vietnam, and other countries, was in the reforms that they, over the last 4 or 5 years, the reforms at the IMF trained Iraq, trained Vietnam, and other countries to implement reforms to have better currency policies. Did they listen? No. The countries did not listen. But the IMF is very heavily involved. Go, young lady, you can continue.
The IMF has never determined that a member country has manipulated its currency during the institution's nearly 8-decade history. If the IMF did determine a member was manipulating its exchange rate, that member could lose access to IMF financing and its voting rights at the IMF, and ultimately face expulsion from the institution.
And we already know, folks, that countries, plenty of countries, have been historically manipulating their currency. But again, this is political. You know, there's a wink, wink, look over there, look over here. Your palm is greased. Okay, you're fine. You didn't manipulate your currency. That's how the game is played. All right, now let's go down to trade tools, trade negotiations, and agreements.
Yes. In 2015, Congress included exchange rate policies as a principal negotiating objective in Trade Promotion Authority, TPA legislation. Pursuant
what Congress did in 2015, they included exchange rate policies for countries to not manipulate their currency, and they use it as a negotiating tool. Yeah, right. Poor negotiating, if you ask me. Go ahead, young lady.
Pursuant to TPA, Treasury negotiated currency issues in the context of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, which entered into force in July 2020. The TPA granted by Congress to the president in 2015 expired in 2021 and has not been renewed.
Folks, the TPA is Trade Promotion Authority. This is part of the negotiations for trade. Again, here we go, regarding exchange rates. Now let's get to the next one. Remember, this is from January 2025 that the International Trade Researcher wrote this for Congress. It talks about tariffs. Folks, we didn't get the tariffs until Trump came back in office, and then in April. But this is January. Go, young lady. Please read this.
Tariffs on imports from countries with undervalued exchange rates. In 2020, the Commerce Department implemented a regulatory change that attempts to counter currency manipulation through tariffs.
Oh, let's wait. Pause. To take a pause for the cause. In 2020, the Commerce Department implemented a regulatory change. So it means a regulation, a law that attempts to counter currency manipulation through what?
tariffs.
They did a poor job because it didn't work. Something they did wrong, but now here Trump comes back in office, and we are where we are with tariffs and right now. Go, young lady.
The regulation allows, in certain circumstances, tariffs on imports from countries designated by Commerce in consultation with Treasury to be undervaluing their currency.
Ho. So you mean to tell me from the United States Congress, this international trade researcher has a mention in an article in here in a section about tariffs related to exchange rates, and that the U.S. government tried to counter countries manipulating their currencies and devaluing the currencies? They tried to counter that with tariffs? That's what they're saying? That's what this is saying. Okay, just want to make sure.
That's what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. So exchange rates, tariffs, currency manipulation, all this is mixed together. I thought maybe there would be something in here about Chinese elders. No? No? Oh, no. Okay, so you can continue.
I was about to say something else.
Or was it Kurdistan salaries? I don't know. Okay, so
in 2021, Commerce announced its first and to date only affirmative finding regarding a currency-related subsidy involving tires from Vietnam and imposed a countervailing duty on such imports from Vietnam.
You mean to tell me there was something about Vietnam? They said back in 2021 that they were talking about Vietnam doing something they shouldn't have been doing with the currency? Oh, Section 301 would tell us more. Go ahead, young lady.
Section 301. In October 2020, the U.S. Trade Representative announced the U.S. Trade Representative announced a Section 301 investigation into a country's currency practices, Vietnam.
Oh, so this is saying that the U.S. Trade Representative announced an investigation into Vietnam's currency practices? Is that what this says?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can continue.
Section 301 of the 1974 Trade Act grants USTR a range of responsibilities and authorities to investigate trade practices that may violate U.S. trade agreements or engage in acts that are unjustifiable and potentially impose trade sanctions.
Mm-hmm.
In 2021...
So they were thinking about punishing Vietnam back then with sanctions because of their trade practices. Go ahead, young lady. Well, currency manipulation related to trade practice. Go ahead.
In 2021, USTR determined that Vietnam had taken unreasonable actions to push down the value of its currency.
To do what?
It has taken USTR determined that Vietnam had taken unreasonable actions to push down the value of its currency.
To the value of what? What's their currency? You should know. You got a lot of it. Okay, go ahead.
It lifted the designation following bilateral negotiations.
You done had too much wine already.
I ain't had no wine, Freedom.
You've been stomping on some grapes. So in 2021, the United States Trade Representative, folks, determined that Vietnam was manipulating, purposely devaluing the Vietnamese dong. Who was one of the first countries to rush to the table and want to negotiate with President Trump regarding tariffs?
Vietnam.
Absolutely. They know they've been doing things dirty. It's like most.
Exactly. I was about to say, it's like when Judah knows he's in trouble and he just, never mind. They remind me of Judah. Vietnam reminds me of Judah.
Lord have mercy. All right. So now, folks, remember, that's the IMF. Heavily involved. U.S. Congress, they tried to slap Vietnam on the wrist about devaluing the Vietnamese dong. And they said they were going to try to counter it. They were going to try to correct it through tariffs. Back then, please. Yeah, right. That's what they say. Mm-hmm. They didn't mean it. Money talks. But now there's a president that's in office that you can't buy him. He's not for sale. He's putting America first and the whole entire country, whole entire world to level the playing field. This is why in 2017, when that reporter asked President Trump, what will he do when he was during his first term, the reporter asked him, what will he do regarding currency devaluation? He said, we will level the playing field. How you level the playing field, folks? Through tariffs, through trade. This is why in 2024, last year in April, currency revaluation is likely to be a priority of the second Trump administration. It will be done through trade. All right, young lady. Now let's get to the IMF and Iraq. And I'm going to drop this into the room. Let's go.
The IMF's report highlights Iraq's ability to maintain domestic stability despite regional tensions with modest inflation levels.
Okay, 1 second, beloved. So, folks, if you remember, a few minutes ago, when Peculiar Ram read how exchange rates are influenced, one part of it is through inflation in the country. So the IMF is giving a progress report, if you will, a report card, if you will, on Iraq and the stability, showing that they are implementing the reforms that the IMF, we just saw the U.S. Congress talking about exchange rates, IMF, International Monetary Fund, talking about currency manipulation, talking about Vietnam devaluing the currency. It's not only Vietnam, folks. That is real. Vietnam was just coincidentally mentioned, but many countries, most of these countries that you see that are trying to negotiate with Trump on tariffs, they all been doing the same thing, manipulating their currencies, the value of the currencies, in order for their exports to be more profitable. Okay, young lady, you can continue.
To strengthen its economy, Iraq needs to boost non-oil revenue and control the public wage bill, alongside reviewing 2025 expenditure plans. The IMF emphasizes urgent pension system reforms, particularly increasing the retirement age. It also praises the Central Bank of Iraq for its effective transition to a new trade finance system and efforts to narrow a new trade finance system and efforts a new trade finance system and efforts to narrow the gap between official and parallel currency exchange rates while exploring reforms to support the private banking sector.
By golly, Miss Molly, you mean to tell me the IMF and Iraq is doing something regarding their exchange rates through trade? Huh. Wonder where you heard that before. Thanks, Goldilocks.
Thanks, Goldie.
All right. So, folks, now what this is sharing with us is that the report on Iraq's, it tells you straight from the IMF. They're giving their progress report. They're praising the Central Bank of Iraq for its effective transition to a new trade finance system, folks, which this is a digital finance system. And their efforts to narrow the gap between the official, which is the actual exchange rate, and the illegal market exchange rate, which is less than 2%, which based on Dr. Shabibi's white paper economic reform plan that he wrote in 2014, that one of the key factors for the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar was for there to be a 2% difference, less than 2%, between the official exchange rate and the parallel market exchange rate in Iraq. They are there because of the stability. The IMF is reporting that Iraq's economy is now stable, despite the tensions in the region with Iran and other things that are going on. Iraq is strong. The Central Bank of Iraq is strong. And they praised the CBI for their effective transition into the new trade finance system. Did it mention anything about Kurdistan salaries? I don't see that in here.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Or budget tables or or hookah
Mm-mm.
tables? No,
Ain't no
no.
planes flying out either.
Oh, okay. Just checking. All right. Now let's get to the next one. Iraq stock market. Go ahead.
The Iraq Stock Exchange, ISX, announced today, Monday, which was July 21st,
Mhm,
that shares exceeding 7.8 billion Iraqi dinars were traded last week.
mhm,
The ISX trading activity reported on July 21st, 2025, does not directly indicate a causal relationship with Iraqi dinar price fluctuations.
mhm,
However, the increased trading volume and slight index rise could indirectly contribute to economic confidence, potentially supporting dinar stability in the broader context of CBI policies, oil prices, and geopolitical factors.
mhm.
To confirm any direct impact, more specific data linking stock market performance to currency movements would be needed. For further details on ISX activity, you can refer to IraqiNews.com or the ISX website.
Boom. Thank you, beloved. So, folks, what this is sharing, but what this is stating, what Goldilocks is sharing is that just last week on Monday, historical, where within one day in Iraq's stock market, their trading market, where almost 8 billion dinars were traded during the week. This is because they've been able to do this historically now to do this because they're now connected to the new digital banking system. They have a new trade finance system that they've connected to. So now what's happening is institutional investors, what that means is the big money players from around the world. Think of your, for some of you that have your private wealth management firms, you can think of some of them as investing potentially in Iraq in the dinar. So what's happening here with the stock market is the big money investors, the institutional investors, are now pumping more money into the Iraqi. They're buying the Iraqi dinar so that they're buying so they can sell it. And now that I think about it, let me just give it to you in a language that you all will understand. Forex. These institutional investors, big money players, they're buying billions of dollars worth of Iraqi dinar, and they'll sell it. How's it sold? On Forex. This is how it works, folks. But now we have the interest of folks, institutional investors. They're not going to have an interest to buy billions of dollars worth of a currency if they don't foresee the value of that currency in the near future. If they don't see, they're not going to put their money into something that is not going to be a good return on their investment. So this is proof positive. It confirms exactly what the IMF's report just told us, is that Iraq's economy in the central bank of Iraq, they have successfully connected to the new trade finance system. And that new trade finance system is a digital finance system whereby now institutional big money investors and players can now access Iraqi dinar electronically through Iraq stock market.
Nice.
So many of you should begin to be careful who you listen to. For those who've been telling you for the last months and weeks and years, how was it possible?
Mm-hmm.
Under the old financial system, it just told you directly from the source.
Mm-hmm.
I am from the IMF that Iraq just connected to the new trade finance system. Folks, that is the digital asset-based system that Goldilocks has been telling us about all this time. The last but not least, the implementation of international digital payments. Young lady.
Hold on 1 second.
I got it. The implementation
go ahead.
of international digital payment systems, Basel III reforms, and implementation of the new digital financial structure has begun. Folks, we are at the beginning of the end, if you will. If you don't have a relationship with the actual bankers that can manage and grow your wealth, you just stomping grapes. All right.
We
North.
kind of skipped one. Was that intentional?
Oh no. Thanks
That's
for.
why I was kind of confused because we had
I'm
one more
sorry.
article before that one.
Oh, we do? Okay. Which
Yeah,
one? Thank you. I think
President Trump's trade policies.
Oh, yes. Oh, this is very important. I apologize, folks.
Right.
This is very, very, very important. President Trump's trade. Duh. This right. Sure.
This is the meat potatoes here.
Yes. What in the world?
What the what?
Yeah. What the what? This is the icing on the cake of the tariffs and trade for the whole entire call tonight. Go ahead, young lady.
President Trump's trade policies, particularly the imposition of tariffs, have created significant volatility and shifts in the forex market.
Yes.
Here's how these policies can impact currency exchange rates.
Hold on a second. Let's get to that real quick again. President Trump's trade policies, particularly the imposition of tariffs, have created significant volatility and shifts in the forex market. What did the Congress, U.S. Congress, and the International Trade Representative for Congress say? She mentioned trade, tariffs, the currency manipulation, currency devaluation. How did they attempt to address it before? Through tariffs and trade regarding currency devaluation. Did it happen back then? No. Did it happen in 2020, 2021? No. President Trump comes into office. Currency revaluation is likely to be a priority of the second Trump administration, and he will do it through trade. And here we are. Go ahead, young lady. Here's how these policies can impact currency exchange rates. Go ahead. Increased volatility.
Increased volatility.
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to just read the headline?
Just the goal. Uh-huh.
Increased volatility.
Uh-huh.
Shifting investor sentiment and safe havens.
Okay, increased volatility. For those who don't know what volatility is the fluctuation in price and value of currencies. Not just currencies. Volatility can be in the fluctuation in the prices of stocks, any asset. Okay, so what these tariffs are doing is creating they're impacting exchange rates by creating volatility, meaning the fluctuation in the currency rates. Okay, shifting investor sentiment and safe havens. Now let's currency responses to trade policy, and I would like for you to read that paragraph under that one.
Currency responses to trade policy. Countries hit by U.S. tariffs may retaliate or implement measures to mitigate the effects, such as allowing their currencies to weaken.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Mm-hmm.
This can result in a currency war, where countries strategically devalue their currencies to make exports cheaper and offset the impact of tariffs, further increasing volatility in the forex market.
So as we see, trade, tariffs have a direct correlation to forex.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, are you listening? Are you hearing this? This is directly from these. If any one of you take time to click the links that Goldilocks has shared, this is not Goldilocks' words that Peculiar Ram is reading. That's from the actual source articles. The title of the article is The Impact of Trump's Tariffs on Forex Market Dynamics. This is not Goldilocks' words. This is not a quote from Goldilocks. This is the sourced information that Goldilocks is providing, showing you all, telling you all how it happens with the changes in currency exchange rates. Countries hit by U.S. tariffs may retaliate or implement measures to mitigate if they know better now because Trump's in. Now, if Sleepy Joe was in there, we wouldn't be here. But nonetheless, I digress. This can result in a currency war where countries strategically devalue their currency. That's what they did before.
Mm-hmm.
They can devalue their currencies to make exports cheaper and offset the impact of tariffs, further increasing volatility in the forex market. All of these ghostly stories of how the RV will happen, exchange rates change, and in-ground assets and these fake rates and all, folks, it doesn't work like that, folks. That's stomping on grapes. Okay, young lady.
No, for real. Impact on export-dependent economies.
Mm-hmm.
Influence on trade balances and currency values.
Oh, yeah, you can read that one right there.
Okay. Tariffs can alter global trade balances, which directly impacts currency values.
Mm-hmm.
Tariffs may reduce the volume of goods imported into the U.S., potentially lowering the demand for foreign currency and strengthening the USD. However, retaliatory tariffs from other countries could offset this effect.
Mm-hmm. You can continue.
Disruption of global supply chains.
So this is the disruption of global supply chains. This is where tariffs, where countries around the world that are negotiating, they're doing trade amongst each other, they'll be shifting, depending on the percentages of tariffs that they ultimately agree upon with the U.S. and each other. There all will be effect. It will be a ripple effect. These trade negotiations, these tariffs, will have a ripple effect for every other country, folks, and their currencies. They're all connected to each other through trade. So the supply chain is the routes or the routes that the trade happens. So instead of a country shipping products through Malaysia, they may now ship through Vietnam, or instead of shipping through Russia, they might ship through China, whatever it may be. The supply chains of how their products now will be transported to another country, it all can be disrupted because of tariffs. But that's the whole purpose of Trump doing this. Is to shake them up and shift so that countries will stop manipulating their currencies and level the playing field. Ultimately, with moving into the new digital banking system, as the IMF said Iraq just did, the new trade finance system, it's the new digital banking system, the new digital asset-based trading system, where all countries will now connect through their banks and through trade, through their ports. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can continue.
Impact on central bank policy.
You can read that.
The global economic uncertainty caused by tariffs can influence central bank decisions regarding interest rates. For instance, central banks might face the dilemma of raising rates to curb inflation caused by tariffs, or lowering rates to stimulate slowing economic growth, leading to further currency volatility. The potential impact of Trump's trade deals and tariffs on the forex market remains an ongoing topic, with the actual outcomes depending on the scope and implementation of these policies, as well as the reactions of other nations.
There it is, in black and white.
Yeah.
And black and white, whereby tariffs through trade will impact currency exchange rates, whereby countries who have historically devalued their currencies because they're able to get more profit in their exported products through trade, they were able to get away with it. They've been spoiled by the United States and our policies and trade for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But lo and behold, President Trump returns to office to no surprise, especially after we read the article. Currency revaluation is a priority of the second Trump administration, and it will be done through what?
Trade.
All right, folks. North Texas and Nova Nichols, are you still here? Okay, Nova. You are so sharp, Nova. Now that I know you soak up all of this stuff, all this knowledge, this information Now, hearing this tonight, what's your thoughts on all of this?
Am I on?
There you go.
Well, I like what I heard, and I can see it. It was all planned long ago. And all the guru stuff, this is going to happen this weekend. This is our time. Everybody's in Reno. That's all a bunch of crap.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Folks don't realize their favorite gurus, part of a psyop to actually distract you all and to keep you confused. For those of you like Nova Knickers, North Texas, Peculiar Ram, and the rest of the tribe, you're established with your relationships. You're set. You don't have to worry about. In fact, who was it last week? It was last week. Tyrone, where he said his manager told him when the RV happens, he said, "You're gonna be hearing from me first."
Oh, I know that's right. It's exciting.
So, Nova Knickers, you're absolutely right, and it's unfortunate so many people continue with. Hey, that's their choice. They want to follow that the foo-foo. But yeah, go ahead, Nova Knickers. Did you have something else you wanted to add?
No, that I'm just sitting back and watching it happen, and I'm ready to go.
Beautiful. And congratulations again. Your wealth manager said we can sign the contract when your money is here.
Yep, and I got my pen.
Awesome. Thank you so much. North Texas, Des, come to the microphone, please.
I'm here.
What's your thoughts on all of this? What's your take?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch it unfold, especially coming off the back end like I did. Like how everything is moving so quickly. Like it's like watching something from the foundation get built in 3D. Like you see it coming. Like
Hey,
so.
You know what? I was about to tell you, speak for yourself that it's happening so quickly, but you are speaking for yourself because other
really
I am. But like Miss Nicka said, you can tell it has been happening so long. And then if I'm not mistaken, I did not hear some of y'all say that in prior podcasts or so that was people been holding currency since the 80s, waiting on this.
Yeah. A lot of people have been out there for 20 plus years. Yeah.
Goodness.
But also a lot of folks that have been hearing every weekend for 20 years plus.
That's crazy.
That's wild. And I guess I don't even call myself blessed, but I'm lucky enough not even to be in like just to be so fresh that I didn't even know about somebody talking about all this other stuff and nonsense and stuff, the guru foo stuff.
Yeah. 13 years ago when I was introduced to currency and the RV, literally the same gurus, the same people that I know of, people that are in those rooms, the same gurus saying the same thing. They were saying it back then, 13 years ago. Well, I was hearing it with my own ears every weekend. The Chinese elders and Reno, they were talking about Reno back then. I mean, it was madness. I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
And like you said, man, that kind of makes me feel. This probably could be my little conspiracy side popping up. You know what I mean? But it do feel like they be putting people in the way. They put people in the way so people can follow.
Yes. The gurus are a lot of them they're on an email blast where they get an email of what to say to the masses. It's an email blast. Wow. Yeah, but they're taken care of heavily. But that's all right. We are where we are. And they are. We just pray for them. And we pray for the gurus and for the people that continue to follow that. So we just love them, pray for them, and we move on and do what we do.
Yeah.
And so all right. Appreciate you, man. And Peculiar Ram, you want to end it up? And go ahead. Okay, Peculiar Ram, if there's something you want to share and add to with all of what you read and you saw tonight.
No, I just hope that this tonight was a turning point for somebody out there listening. I hope this was edifying. I know it was edifying to me as it is every weekend, but I hope
Mhm.
it was able to touch someone and bring them into the fold of success and preparation.
Yeah.
I noticed that this podcast was shared on another popular guru channel, and
Mhm.
it normally isn't the Saturday night podcast. And
Mhm.
I was looking at some of the reactions, so I'm sure some people are from there are in here
Mhm.
listening. So I will encourage anybody that came from that channel to completely reprogram your mind. And
Mhm.
if you're welcome into the group, like Freedom said, we're open on Monday. Just dust your shoes off before you come in, because we don't need
Mhm.
no drama.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
here to help. We're here to help. And I only say this because I saw it with my own eyes a couple of
Mhm.
hours ago when it was shared, and I saw the
Mhm.
reaction. And people have been lied to for so long, they don't believe in anything. They don't
Mm.
believe, some people don't believe anything anymore.
Right. Yeah. They
They're
become
just completely
desensitized.
pessimistic about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
hopefully by looking and seeing the proof and
Mhm.
being able to click with your own fingers onto, like Freedom said, the
Mhm.
sources that we're reading, these articles that comes from these articles, read it for yourself, so you won't feel
Mhm.
like, oh, this is just
Mhm.
another channel talking about something
Mhm.
else.
Mhm.
So I encourage you guys to come into the group. Hopefully what you heard tonight from the other members, Nova Knickers, North Texas Des, Wiley, Freedom, hopefully it was enough to convict your heart enough to be able to realize that you deserve more, you deserve
Mhm.
better, but only if you believe it.
There you
So
go.
hopefully this podcast was edifying to someone, and welcome you guys into the room. And
Yeah.
leave the Google foo-foo at the door, please.
Please do. Yeah. Just like you said, wipe your feet, folks. We welcome anyone with open arms. We share with love and with kindness. Um, uh, but we understand and know where many of you are, based on what you've heard, because many of us have been down that path as well. So we can
Mm-hmm.
relate. We empathize with you. We totally understand.
Mm-hmm.
There's no judgment at all. If you want help, we will help, and it costs you nothing. But like Peculiar Ram said, dust your feet off. There's a reprogramming that you have to do. If you want to, fine. If not, hey, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not going to overextend ourselves to try to help you. If you really want it and genuinely, we will extend ourselves to you to help you and show you the way. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Peculiar Ram, North Texas, Nova
Thank
Knickers,
you.
everyone, Wiley. We appreciate you. Everyone, have a good night. We love you. We appreciate you. Everyone, stay grounded, stay in love. Take care, folks. Ciao. Have a good night.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.